Hello, hello there, everyone. How are you today? I want to welcome you to Coffee Time Career Chat. If this is your first time joining, welcome. My name is Patricia Hayes. I am an executive advisor, a career empowerment coach, and authentic networking strategist. And all of that means that I love helping people and organizations get to where they want to be in their careers with folks to make sure that they have sustainable long-term relationships that support their ultimate career goals, whether you're talking about your professional career, in your 9 to 5 or in your business, making sure that you feel empowered and how you approach that work and that you have the relationships to support it is absolutely crucial. And I love helping people get to those things. Coffee Time is all about career development on Mondays and networking on Wednesdays, which means today we are talking about networking. And we're finishing up a kind of comprehensive series we've done this month, popping in and out on the topic of shifting in your career and in your business, and what that means, what it looks like, and how you should perhaps respond or could respond in the middle of a shift, whether it's a shift that is desired or one that came unexpectedly, that you have some type of support and framework for how to approach it in a way that is supportive of you long term. All right. So today we are talking about exploring new relationships during your career shift. And, you know, I'm always going to say you should always be looking for new professional relationships, right? It's an ongoing practice, it is a skill development opportunity, and it is something that should not end. So I will say that always, because even after all these years, I still learn something. I'm still improving on or shifting myself in how I interact with my network, how I go about expanding or contracting my network. That's a whole other conversation, right? And what it means to build a sustainable network. All right. So that said, one of the things is that you have to remember that it's a process. This is all a part of the process, and to leave yourself first to being open to what the possibilities are when you are looking for that new uh for those new relationships. Okay. So when you are building and looking for the next shift in your relationships, you know you've got to stay open. um there's nothing worse than closing yourself off just because, right? Now, if there is some rationale for it, I'll give you some, but I will tell you, even I have had moments where there were people or opportunities that I closed off, that I said, nope, not interested, not going down that road for whatever reason, that I have had to step back and reconsider that. And that's what I mean by being open. You have to be open. Now, here's the thing. I'm not talking about violating your core values, your beliefs, any of that. I'm not saying to put those aside in order to go pursue some opportunity. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying, however, because this happens to all of us, is that if, let's say, in the past you had a not so great interaction with someone, but during the course of this shift in your career, in your business, in your professional world, this person comes back across your path. I am saying to give some consideration to whether or not you might need to go ahead and have a conversation or reconsider that at this time. Because one of the things we can all learn is that people do change. Not all people change, but some people do change. And sometimes the change is in um, position, sometimes the change is in mindset, right? And you're not going to know that just by seeing them. You're only going to know that by doing a little bit deeper dig, having a couple of conversations, whatever. Okay. Being open during this time to exploring new relationships also means looking at those things that you haven't considered before, those places that you haven't considered before, or again, that you've taken off the list. So let's say there's a particular organization that you had an old affiliation with that let's say you've let drop, or there's an organization that you've never really joined, you were kind of in on it. This might be the time to go and take a second look at it and figure out if there are some opportunities there for building some relationships that will support you in what you're doing next. Okay. Or what you want to do next. And sometimes you'll say, well, but I don't know. That's the whole point. In a shift, you don't necessarily know, which again leads to the reason why you should keep your options open. Okay. Don't close yourself off. Leave your options open. Be willing to talk to almost anybody, to consider almost any opportunity. And I say almost because there are things and people that will come up that are not aligned with your core values, that are not aligned with your beliefs, that are not aligned with your goals. We're not talking about pursuing those things or exploring those things that are not in alignment. Now, sometimes you won't know that until you get into it, and that's fine. Right? That's not a waste of time. You learn something during that. But if from the start you already know, like, no, this truly is not aligned, like that person has ethics issues, that organization has culture issues, right? Those things you can take off the table. There's no need in wasting your time. But be open to all of those other things where there's some opportunity to learn something new, to grow, and to perhaps build some new relationships along the way. The second thing is that you're going to want to make sure you're honest. And by honest, I mean being honest with yourself and being honest with the person or the organization that you are talking to or considering about what the real connection could be or might be. There's no need in building up something yourself or someone else or the organization for what is really, something that's out of alignment, that's not true, just plain not true. Um, don't just talk to people and say, "Oh, I might be interested in this," only to see what they respond. Right? Be honest, because in the long run, when you're not, it will come out in the wash, right? So don't just say, because and it also makes you look desperate. You do not want to look desperate. And it also comes back to haunt you, because these things run in small circles a lot of times. So if you just go do something just to say it, and then you tell someone else, well, yeah, I wasn't really looking at that. I just wanted to see what they would say. Well, guess what? You would be surprised at how that circles back around to you. So I'm always encouraging you to be honest about your situation, about what it is you are or are not willing to explore, to have conversations about when you're talking with people and when you are pursuing new opportunities. That said, I am not telling you to go tell all your business. I'm not telling you to go lay out all the issues or concerns you've had at your previous in place of employment or with prior clients. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that you need to be honest internally and externally about what you bring to the table, about what you're willing to consider or not consider, and then pursue those things accordingly when you are having conversations, when you are looking to talk to someone. You don't want to waste your time, and you absolutely don't want to waste someone else's time because you're talking to them about something that you know already you have no interest in. Okay. Now, this comes up again all the time. Every once in a while, probably 2, 3 times a year, I will have some opportunity that presents itself to me out of the blue that I did not ask for, either by referral or, they just found me somewhere. It really does happen. Like, I just opened my email today and there's this organization just found me. I have to go do my homework on it, right? I'm not going to close it off. So I'm being open about seeing what they want to offer or what they want to talk about. And then we'll see where and if it goes somewhere. Okay. Um, but realizing that sometimes when those things come to you, do your homework, right? But sometimes I look at something and I'm like, I am not the least bit interested in doing that, right? Now, if it comes by way of a referral or someone within your network, be mindful, be respectful, tell your connection, hey, thanks so much for that. I don't think that's something that's for me at this moment, or I'm just not interested in going down that path. And then also, you know, then when you're communicating with the person or the organization who brought it to you, to say, thank you so much. I appreciate you considering me. This is not something I'm looking at this time, right? Because we don't believe in burning bridges unnecessarily as well, because you never know where someone's going to be next, or when an organization has a shift and they may come back to you. So, a lot lies in how you treat them the first time. And being honest with them, people always appreciate that, right? Sometimes people act like, oh, I don't like it. I can't believe they said, or whatever. You know what? You can't control their response to that in that way, but you can say and know that you were honest when you had the conversation with them. All right. And when you're building relationships for the long term, that honesty goes a very, very long way. Okay. So we've already talked about when you're exploring new relationships during your career shift, make sure you're being open, make sure you're being honest. And thirdly, you want to be thorough, right? I wrote down the words cautiously optimistic. And this is because this can go either way. It can go, let's say, on the negative side, it could be where you're like, I don't know if I can trust this. And so you want to be thorough so that you can do your homework on it. So that's the situation that showed up in my email today, where it's someplace, an organization I know nothing about, they're out of state. So I'm gonna have to go do some homework. It sounds interesting. It sounds like something I might want to have a chat about, but I don't even know if I want to have a chat about, because first I've got to make sure that it's the real deal, and that there's some, if there are legitimacy issues or questions, all of this. Because guess what? A little bit of skepticism can go a long way in helping you to avoid unnecessary conversations, right? I will always tell people to follow your gut. Now, rarely is your gut wrong. Normally, your gut is right. It's your head that leads you down a different path, right? So follow your gut. Um, be cautiously optimistic. Now, on the flip side of that is someone who's like so excited about some opportunity that they fail to step back and have a little bit of a, let's be cautious. Let's take a look here. And that can be just as that can be just as dangerous, right? By not being thorough. All right. So tamper your excitement just a bit with a little bit of skepticism. Ask some deeper questions. Ask some questions of people around you, of uh, organizations that may be affiliated, whatever. Do your homework. It's always the thing. It's always helpful to do your homework when you are building new relationships, when you are looking for new opportunities. That 5 or 10 minutes that it takes to do a Google search or pick up a phone or text an old friend can save you a world of headache down the line. All right. And you would be amazed at how many people won't do that. And then they regret it later. Okay. So, just remember it's great to have that enthusiasm. It's super, it's awesome to be excited about something. Do your homework, be thorough. Okay. Make an informed decision. That's the other thing. Because sometimes someone can come to you, and I've had this where people come to me where they're trying to, maybe do a little check on someone that's come up in their circle who said, let's say that they were affiliated with me in some way or something like that. And people will check in with you, and as they have with me, especially with me, because people know how I keep such tight reins on my network. So if someone says that they worked with me or affiliated with me in some way, then it's way easy to just call me and check it out, because I will confirm or not. And then you make your decision about what to do next as a result of that. Okay. I'm not about slamming people. I will be honest, however, if someone reaches out to me and asks my opinion about an organization, about how someone operates, and give fair warning, right? I'm like, hey, here's what I know, here's my experience. You go do the rest of your homework yourself. Again, that level of honesty is appreciated by most people. I've had that come up a number of times in recent years, and people have appreciated when they come back and they're like, yeah, thanks for that heads up. Right, thanks for that heads up. So that said, it's super important. And so when we're exploring those new relationships during career shifts, what are we doing? We're being open to what's possible, and we are being open to reconsidering things that we've closed the door on before. You're being open to new people you don't know necessarily, right? Tempered by that last thing. The second one is you want to be honest. Be honest with yourself about what it is you want to be doing, who you want to be engaged with, organizations you want to pursue, so that when your network is looking to help you, they know that they're dealing, they're brokering an honest conversation, right? And then lastly, you want to be thorough. Do your homework when it comes to exploring those new relationships, checking in with people, taking a little bit of time to have more than one surface level conversation. Maybe it's 2 or 3 conversations before you really get to a comfort level, or to where you really feel like you've got some more information that you can make an informed decision about. Okay. So that is all the things. Would love any additional thoughts or comments that you might have about that. What's your experience, right, about when you're shifting, and how you've interacted, or ways you've had to interact or change your interactions perhaps with your network in order to make it happen, in order to, keep the opportunities flowing, and to keep moving forward and grow accordingly. Would love to hear that input from you. If you are needing assistance in your career development path, in your business development pathway, where you need some strategy assistance in developing a good, solid plan that will be sustainable over time, give me a hit up in the DMs or my email, and happy to schedule some time to have a chat with you. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a fantastic day. Bye bye.